Well, for more on the ongoing unrest in Libya and the international response, let's talk now to political writer Diana Johnstone. She's joining us from Paris. Very good evening to you. Thanks for being on the programme. Well, just a few hours ago, NATO said that it was united, and France said also today it's recognising the rebels as the legitimate power. So hang on a minute, is that the view from Paris that really the rest of the alliance members think, and they're just not being candid about it? What do you think the true picture is?
Well, since they said they were united, that rather implies that they are not objecting to the French diplomatic, or rather undiplomatic step.
So why aren't they coming out and saying it?
Seems,
so why aren't they coming out and saying
well, I think... Well, I think that I fear that what we're seeing here is simply a play for time in order to build up the propaganda a little bit heavier to justify military intervention. I think that I fear that what they're waiting for is a little bit more bloodshed, that especially if civilians can be claimed to be killed or shown to be killed by, of course, by Gaddafi. I mean, if the other side kills them, that won't be useful. But casualties so that they can say, we have to do something to stop Gaddafi from killing his own people. That's the slogan, and there isn't enough evidence yet that that is exactly what is happening. So I think they're simply waiting and provoking that bloodshed that will give them the excuse to act.
Why do you think France made this move today first, then?
Well, that's a little bit Sarkozy's personality, to rush to the front and show that he is, you know, really gung-ho for whatever it is. And I think that both Britain and France, you see, have been playing the role of pushing for military intervention, while the United States is showing reluctance. That is, there probably is reluctance in Washington, but I don't know that, I think there's a conflict as usual between those who want to go to war and those who think that this is probably not a very good idea. So the allies, the dear allies of NATO, can push in that direction so that eventually the big giant will just be obliged to do his humanitarian duty. It looks to me a bit like that's the scenario.
Begs a question as well, doesn't it? If somehow Gaddafi did manage to hold on to power, where would that leave France in the future?
Well, I think if France has taken that step, it's because it's pretty sure that he won't. And that may be because they're pretty sure that there will be military intervention by NATO to make sure that he doesn't. And so do you think we are?
So do you think we are closer to military intervention tonight than we have been so far?
Well, I'm afraid so, but I mean, I think it's a terrible thing, but I see that that's the way things seem to be going. I think that the pro-war forces see the situation in Libya as an opportunity to play the humanitarian savior role, and I think it's a temptation that is very hard for them to resist. And they think that Libya it's not a very populous country. It's got all that oil which can pay for whatever war they wage against it. I mean, that was the argument about Iraq, that the Iraqi oil could pay for the war. I don't think that's quite happened. But they can think that it would be easier with Libya, which it has a rather small, scattered population. And they can think that this is an easy victory that they can claim to be part of the fight for democracy by stealing a little of the glory of Tunisia and Libya, where you've had real democratic uprisings, whereas Libya has been quite a different story.
OK, Diana Johnstone, good to hear your views. Political writer as you are, on the line from Paris tonight. Thank you.